Well, a rock-solid performance by the batsman put England on firm footing on opening day of the first cricket test match against India. Joe Root scoring 100 on his 100th test match, and Indian bowlers toiling on the first day on a wicket which seems to be assisting, not really assisting the bowlers. I'm joined by my sports editor, Rohit Mahajan.
Hi.
263 for 3, Rohit. At the end of the day, still you feel that India did bowl considerably well?
Could have been much worse on this wicket.
Right.
They have conceded 263 runs for a run rate of less than 3.
Right.
Could have been much worse, as I said, especially because they had a partnership of 200 runs, and you'd expect that they could have been more dominant during that partnership and score at a faster rate. But make no mistake, I think England are right on top. And first day, having lost only 2 wickets right until the end, and then losing the third wicket with what proved to be the last delivery of the day. So I think they are on top. And Joe Root playing his 100th test, his third consecutive century after the 2 in Sri Lanka. Those were big innings.
Right.
If he makes it big as well, I think they're in for a struggle. The Indian bowlers are in for a struggle tomorrow. So,
But I think they made a little bit of a comeback in the last 10 overs. I think England scored just 29, losing the wicket of Sibley. Do you think in the end India managed to pull it back somewhat?
yeah, as I said earlier, I mean, could have been much worse. Could have been 300 for 3.
Right.
And they also would have been okay with it, with uh, reducing the scoring rate in the last 10 odd overs, as you say. And of course, they lost a wicket. That was a bigger factor because Sibley played a lot of deliveries today. 286 deliveries. That's a very long innings. But overall, I think Indian bowlers struggled the whole day. I think only Bumrah looked like taking wickets the whole day. Ishan bowled well in the first hour with a new ball. He beat the bat a few times. Bumrah bowled well. But I think we were expecting, after what happened in Brisbane in Australia, after those very exciting test matches where the bowlers were always on top, or the fortunes were fluctuating, and sometimes the bowlers were on top, sometimes the batsmen were on top, and with the new ball, the bowlers were really very potent. So after that, those very exciting contests, I think we were spoiled a bit due to the exciting cricket that was put up. But this is a typical Indian
cricket.
First day performance. You get nearly 300 runs or 280 runs, or in this case 263 runs on day one, lose only 3 wickets, then maybe reach a 550 by tea the next day, then push on and try to take wickets. So yes, so I think England are quite on top.
Okay, talking about Root, 100th test, a good ton, as you mentioned. He's carrying a good form from Sri Lanka and now scoring a century in India. He's unbeaten. Take us through his batting today. I mean, aggression mixed with caution. Take us through some of the salient features of his batting today.
Yeah, I think we saw some of the shots that he loves to play. He played a sweep a little later, but he drove the ball well. He got a few good deliveries from Bumrah. He managed to jam his bat down in time against Bumrah of a good in swinging Yorker. Overall, he played he had all the shots in the ball.
Right.
He played some good shots in front of the wickets. He also reverse swept, and he never looked like in trouble. So I think it was again a very good innings from Joe Root. It shows the class he has. He can bat on any kind of wicket, and the previous 2, the centuries in Sri Lanka, they were big hundreds, and so his subcontinental wickets are very different from what he's grown up on.
Right.
So I think he's perfectly acclimatized to bat on these wickets, which he showed today.
Also, tell us something about Sibley, young batsman doing quite well, though he consumed a lot of balls, but seems to be a very stable, solid, rock-solid batsman.
True. He played like an opener is trained to play. He played a long innings. He was not really troubled, except for maybe a couple of occasions initially. But he played a very good knock, and perfect foil for Joe Root. But I think the more interesting question was about the Indian spinners. The choice of Shahbaz Nadeem over Yadav, Kuldeep Yadav. I think that was very intriguing. Why would you go for? I mean, maybe it was the injury to Akshar Patel forced Kohli's hand. He wanted a left-arm spinner.
Right.
So once Akshar was unavailable, he picked up Shahbaz. But I think a leg spinner on this wicket, a wrist spinner, who could have been just maybe more effective, but Kohli probably wanted a left-arm spinner.
Okay, and also Washington Sundar. Again, bowled quite a few overs, but not really penetrative.
Yeah, on a day one wicket, I think it's extremely difficult for a spinner, especially an inexperienced spinner, to do very well. There was not variable bounce as could have happened in Australia, or more bounce as happened in some Australian tracks. So it was slow, low day one wicket, in which it's not easy to take wickets. Even Ashwin got a wicket, but otherwise he also was not really very effective.
Okay, also Ishant Sharma bowling, I think 12 overs, not been that effective. Age catching up with Ishant Sharma, or you still would say he's our front-ranking bowler?
I would again come back to the kind of wicket we had. He did bowl fairly well in the first hour, in the first session, and he beat the bat a few times. And I mean, it wasn't easy to score against him, but I really wouldn't say that he's past his prime.
Okay.
I think he just might be a little rusty, but on this wicket, in India, I mean, I think Ashwin was into bowl around 10th over mark. That's very early.
Right.
And this is that sort of a wicket. They probably expected something more from the wicket. The wicket apparently had a little bit of, from closer look, it had a little bit of grass, but there was nothing in it for the bowlers.
Right.
So it, again, a typical day one wicket. You probably need extra space on this kind of wicket. Somebody bowling at 150 plus, somebody like Shoaib Akhtar, or who might take the pitch out of equation with a very in-swinging delivery or a Yorker, or very quick ball, which Bumrah, with his greater pace, managed to do a couple of times. But again, it's a difficult track for bowlers on a day one. So England got lucky; they won the toss. They elected to bat.
That's what I'm
That's a
coming
huge
to.
stroke of luck.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Is this a wicket which is going to last 5 days? If yes, then toss, how important it's going to be?
You know, I mean, it's too early to say that. Eventually, it will turn. But I mean, it will last 5 days. Of course, play will last 5 days. But I'm not sure if wicket will crumble, because it apparently has some grass on it. But it's going to excess spin. So toss and winning the toss would be a huge advantage. It is, as we've seen today, it has been an advantage.
Okay, and day 2 tomorrow. For the session 1 going to be crucial, or I mean the pitch is going to play out like this only?
You know, the second new ball is still new, relatively new. So the first hour with a fresh batsman in, the first hour will be crucial. It just might set the tone for the day. England would be looking to accelerate tomorrow, get to a bigger score, more runs, faster runs than today. So, so the first hour, the first session will be crucial.
For India, if they get a couple of wickets,
For India as well, and for them as well. But down the order, they have some very good attacking batsmen like Butler and Stokes. So India could be in for a tough day tomorrow as well.
Thank you, Rohit, so much. So there you have a tough day for India today and tomorrow also, given the fact that the pitch, as Rohit said, it's playing out quite easy for the batsmen. So it's going to be a tough day ahead for India even tomorrow. But first session would be important. That remains to be seen how it pans out. We'll keep on providing you post-match analysis every day for the next 4 days. Today was the first day of the test match. This all-important, crucial series between India and England. This will determine who plays New Zealand in the final of the World Test Championship. So we'll keep you providing all the updates. You can log on to our website tribuneindia.com and also on our other social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Meanwhile, thanks for watching us.